technical difficulties. So when we on,
So
we're just saying,
we're talking about the unique selling point. Ukuthi what the skills that you have, right?
yeah,
And I was saying right now, ukuthi there's two folds to this. Ukuthi you have gone to to university now, you have acquired the qualification, the skills and whatnot, right?
yeah,
And whatever else that you have learned along the way. Now you look at ukuthi based on all the skills that you have, what is it that you are going to, what problem are you going to solve, or what need are you going to satisfy with your target employer? Understand? So you align your skills with what they need, because that way you make yourself wanted. You understand?
yeah. Because what I was saying. So because I was just trying to refer to when you were saying you need to take every rejection as a lesson or accept in a way, try and
Nakhona lapho futhi there's two folds to it ukuthi the rejection, right? There's the resilience or ekuthenini the ability, the hard skin, yabo, ukuthi you're able to take a rejection after a rejection after a rejection, and not just a blind intake of rejections, but there's the thick skin of taking on a rejection after a rejection, and then the reflection of how can I avoid this rejection in future? How do I counter a rejection of this nature in future? Understand? Yeah.
So do you remember the first time you come with us and then you tried and you got your first rejection? Like, or not necessarily Lambi, any rejection where it took space in memory, I could like, I'll never forget this.
Yeah, dog, like especially in relationships, female rejections.
Hey,
all the
that's
time,
cool.
all the time, you know. And so, but more than that, there's also rejections in society. It's not what the rejection says to you at the time that matters, you know, but it's how you move on from there. You know, like we've had rejections on a daily, man. You apply my jobs. You don't get called for an interview. That's a rejection on its own. You know, in a lot of spaces, you'd find what you want to buy a particular house, a particular car, but because you don't have or you don't qualify, you know, you understand, according to whatever standards that are giving, that's a rejection on its own. You understand?
Yeah.
But it's and this is where I wanted to go with this, to say Uguti, if we look at the economic situation right now in our country, most especially, it is obvious that the one way to come out of this is to see Uguti, how can you use the skill you have to sustain yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? To sustain yourself and maybe even those around you. You know. In their
because I was trying to link for someone also experiencing rejection for the first time, because I know from my story, when I transited from I went from a school environment to now a working environment where I have to go with my job applications now and then. It's the amount of rejection where you have 20 applications and 0 response. Like, and when you know your qualification is doing something, that's when you need to apply what you were saying earlier. Now you've tried my universities, your academic side, and it doesn't work. Find other ways. Where find a skill, what you're good at, and try and make that a profit. So that's another thing that helps in terms of trying to find alternatives those that actually gonna work for you.
The other issue of it would say, one, ideally the education system wayona the design yayo is based more on generating workers than generating work generators. You know what I mean? So it's up to a person to develop, I suppose, that mindset. And luckily now with the internet, there are many avenues for where one can do that.
Yeah.
And sometimes what actually drives somebody to decide to do that is rejection.
Or which
Like being retrenched from work, being chased out of work, politics in the workplace, and then you take your skill and you decide, no, I'm not gonna work for anybody anymore. I'm actually gonna start and try and do my own thing. I'm not gonna rely on someone else's dream in order to kind of sustain it.
yeah. So the topic of rejection. So we need to try and wrap up the show because as a poet, Nikon. Okay. Second. So as a poet, you always I would like to. I wonder you're writing. You usually speak on it most of the time, but you're writing dog. I was like it showed you I can get feel. I mean, so what I'm saying is your writing thing. I always believe in it, Goma. The way you write it, it helps you to try and because we spoke to touch on both sides where it's your creative side while you're trying to be the weight and performance and stuff like that. So when do you have a poem Yana and you want to bless now where we can try and build a conversation from? I know we do have one.
Yeah, funny enough, this poem is called Identity. It was written a while back, but I feel it is reflective of some of the points we've touched, during this discussion, and it goes. What is to become of me? Living in a country where the color of a black man's success is distinctly seen only through BEE and corruption. In the past, there was only struggle for me and my people. See, I remember because I've got more memory than cloud and MP3. So do you believe me when I say that I'll never be free until I feel the sensation of freedom internally, till my maternal and paternal ancestors stop feuding over me, feeling like I'm about to self-destruct. A suicide bomber is inside of me. My fingerprints rejected by Home Affairs. I had no identity. I'd been labeled a drifter, a wanderer. When nobody would care what I want to be, I tried to speak that mute me and kill my poetry. But don't pity me. You build yourself to a better being. Extend your arms so to reach and fulfill your dream. The sky is no longer the limit. Mentally fly and believe it, you can jet to other planets. The sky is no longer the limit. Mentally fly and believe it, you can jet to other planets. They may try to slander your soul with evil that's painful and darker than cold, but God's above all that is painful and cold. The future is brighter and more precious than gold, but also depends on what you do with what you currently hold.
Snaps! Man, poets, dude. That's like a striking point because you're speaking too much on identity, building, so,
And rejection.
Rejection. It's building from.
I'm family because you mentioned something about until my maternal and
paternal ancestors start feuding over me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'd find that, the issue of the rejections you face around the world, right? Or in your endeavors in life, the rejections, for example, are not because there is any inadequacy from you per se, but because of the environmental surroundings that you come from or the background that you are in, or the family history even at times, and we are black people, so you understand ukuthi you need to go get cleansed this,
Yeah,
go
yes,
cleanse that,
yeah.
you know what I mean? And ideally it's just a matter of ukuthi straighten your spirits, align yourself with your root source, if I could put it like that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, if anything, as a short, do you have anything else? Because there's nothing else you can do after. after the last episode. No, I want like thank you, my brother. First episode spent to Ingo, and I like that.
No way.
It's a first of many. I hope so.
Definitely.
I'm gonna create more of this.
No, most definitely. Definitely.
So sink or swim. We say peace out, people. Next time, I'm on.
Keep your head above water. Asabonga what lodge. Appreciate you. Even James. Lie down. Welcome you.